If you drive Route 66 at night and you see a diner that isn't on your map, do not stop. The coffee is good. The pie is warm. But the bill, you'll pay for the rest of your life. This is the story of Jack Morrison and the diner that shouldn't exist. Route 66, the Mother Road, 2,448 miles from Chicago to Los Angeles. By the 1980s, most of it was bypassed by interstate highways, ghost towns, empty motels, rusted signs that no longer pointed anywhere. But some people still drove the old road. Truckers who knew the shortcuts, insomniacs who couldn't sleep in motels, runaways with nowhere else to go. Jack Morrison was one of them. 43 years old, divorced, 2 kids he hadn't seen in 3 years, driving a rig for a company that didn't know his name, hauling freight he never asked about. On the night of October 14th, 1987, Jack hadn't slept in 14 hours. He was somewhere between Amarillo and Tucumcari when he saw the lights. Red neon, blinking, open. He rubbed his eyes. He'd driven this stretch 100 times. There was nothing here, just desert, just silence. But the lights were real, and he was so tired. The diner looked wrong, not old, preserved. Chrome counter, red vinyl seats, a jukebox in the corner playing Patsy Cline, Crazy, the song his mother used to hum. A woman behind the counter, maybe 60, hair in a tight bun, apron white as snow. She smiled like she'd been waiting for him. "Sit anywhere, honey." Jack sat. The menu was laminated, corners peeling. The prices made him laugh. Coffee, 15 cents. Burger, 40 cents. Apple pie, 20 cents. "You serious?" he asked. "Prices are prices," she said. "What can I get you?" He ordered coffee and pie. He needed to stay awake. He needed to keep driving. The pie arrived warm. Cinnamon. Sugar. The kind of taste that pulls memories from somewhere deep. His grandmother's kitchen. Sunday afternoons. A life he hadn't thought about in 20 years. The coffee. He'd never tasted anything like it. Rich. Bitter. Like drinking a memory he couldn't quite place. He finished both. He felt awake. More than awake. He felt present. Like the fog of the last 10 years had lifted just for a moment. "How much?" he asked, reaching for his wallet. She shook her head. "We don't take those." "Don't take what?" "Money." She pointed to a glass jar on the counter. Inside were small yellow tickets, perforated edges, train tickets. We take these? Jack laughed, nervous now. I don't have train tickets. Check your pocket, she said. Jack reached into his jacket pocket. He never put anything there. It was too deep, too easy to forget. But his fingers touched paper. He pulled it out. A train ticket. Small. Yellow. Perforated edges. Dated October 14th, 1954. Route Amarillo to nowhere. Seat 13. I didn't buy this, Jack said. I never. The train picks you, she said, not the other way around. Jack stood up. The room felt smaller. The jukebox was still playing, but slower now, like the record was melting. I need to go, he said. Of course, honey. Drive safe. He walked to the door, his hand on the handle. He turned back. The woman was gone. The diner was dark. The neon sign off. Jack stood in the desert. No diner, no lights, just his truck, idling where he'd left it, the engine still running, the headlights cutting through nothing. He looked at the ticket in his hand. Amarillo to nowhere. October 14th, 1954. Seat 13. He checked his wallet. The $5 bill he'd had was gone. In its place, the ticket. He drove. He didn't stop until Amarillo. He parked at a truck stop. He sat in the cab until sunrise. He told himself it was a dream, exhaustion, hallucination. But the ticket was real. The paper was old. The ink was faded, but real. He showed it to a collector in Albuquerque. The man offered him $300. Jack didn't sell. Jack started asking questions. At truck stops. At diners that were actually on maps. He found 3 other drivers who'd seen it. A woman from Tulsa, 1979. She'd ordered the burger, found a ticket in her purse. Phoenix to nowhere, 1951. A man from Flagstaff, 1983. Coffee only. Ticket in his glove compartment. Santa Fe to nowhere, 1962. A kid, barely 20, 1985. He'd eaten the pie, found the ticket in his shoe. Gallop to nowhere, 1948. All of them had thrown the tickets away. All of them had regretted it. The woman from Tulsa couldn't sleep for 6 months. She heard a train whistle every night at 2:17 a.m. No tracks within 50 miles. The man from Flagstaff sold his rig, moved to a city, still heard the wheels. The kid from Gallup. Nobody knew what happened to him. He drove east one night and never came back. Jack kept his ticket. He kept it in his wallet, then his glove box, then under his mattress. It always came back. always in his pocket, every morning. October 14th, 2004. 17 years later. Jack was 60 now, retired, living in a small house in Oklahoma. No family, no friends who remembered his name. He hadn't driven Route 66 in a decade. But that night, at 2:17 a.m., he heard a train whistle. No tracks within 50 miles. He got out of bed. He walked to the kitchen. The ticket was on the table. He hadn't put it there. Amarillo to nowhere. October 14th, 1954. Seat 13. But now, in the corner, in handwriting he didn't recognize. Last call. Tonight. Jack put on his jacket. He walked outside. The air smelled like coffee and cinnamon. At the end of his driveway, under the street light that hadn't worked in years, a train platform. Empty. Silent. And a clock that read 0017. They never found Jack Morrison. His house was empty. His truck was in the garage. His wallet was on the dresser. But his jacket was gone. And in the dust of his driveway, investigators found one thing: a small, yellow ticket, perforated edges, dated October 14th, 1954. Route: Amarillo to nowhere. Seat 13. In the corner, fresh ink. Next stop, yours. If you drive Route 66 at night and you see a diner that isn't on your map, do not stop. But if you do, check your pocket. Subscribe for more stories that shouldn't exist. New videos every week.